kind of bad that the fans have been so brutal to him. You know, it's hard to watch sometimes. They're very vocal, and I feel like it throws him off. Like, how can it not when he's trying to cut a promo, you know?
Yeah. Well, I will say this. When I became a full-time Roman Reigns fan, it was at the Royal Rumble, and just seeing the reaction of everybody just saying, like, wait, he's number 30 in the Royal Rumble. Come on. And I immediately thought, you know, okay, I love this.
People were so mad. Oh, my gosh.
I was mad at first, but then I kind of got over it. I was just like, okay, that was actually still pretty awesome. And then I came up with the idea of just naming him Trollman Reigns just because of that moment. I'm like, okay, that's awesome. Trollman Reigns lives forever. Roman Empire. Let's see how well they do against The Undertaker, because it's still The Undertaker. He's still a tough guy to beat. He'll probably be like Ric Flair. He'll still be wrestling right before he dies, which is a scary thought. But we get into the Universal Championship matchup. We got the champion, Goldberg, against, just give me a minute here, Brock Lesnar. Oh, man. This one is going to be insane, because this is only their third time facing off in the ring. The first time was at WrestleMania 20, which was meh. Then we got last year's Survivor Series, which was a shock. It lasted about as long as a bathroom break. And now we get them again for the title at WrestleMania. Whew. This is going to be interesting. And I'm praying that it doesn't last.
Weirdly enough, I was talking to Ron Simmons about this, because Ron Simmons and I were on the same loop, as you call it, of signings in New York a few weeks ago. And he made a really good point. Well, I wish I could do his voice. He was like, I'm going to try. He was like, well, if they had to do any of that pots and pans BS, nobody's going to be interested in it. And what he meant was like that they keep avoiding really wrestling, and they keep doing things on the outside, which is, I think pots and pans would mean like, I don't know. I stopped him and I was like, Rod, what do you mean? And he was explaining it to me. I think he means like, you know, when like they hit the ring steps and they do things with like weapons, but it's like little cheap shots. It's not like real wrestling, right? So that's what he means by pots and pans. And he's right. What he's trying to say is like, they've teased these matches, they've won in like a minute, you know, whatever they've been doing. And now they have to just shut up and actually wrestle and deliver a really good match. And that makes me a little nervous. I love Goldberg and I love Lesnar, but that's a lot of pressure for them. So, which I'm sure they're used to, but still. I just feel like that's a lot of pressure for them as performers. I'm going to go with Goldberg, and I love Lesnar. You know, I'm a Paul Heyman girl, but I just feel like Goldberg would be a great win to see at WrestleMania this year.
Well, that's where, again, we disagree. I think that I'm going to be locking in Brock Lesnar, and I do agree with what Ron Simmons was saying, is that they have to put on some kind of a matchup. They have to do something good with it, or let me see if I can do him a little bit of justice. Well, man, if they actually put on a good match, I think people would actually give a damn.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, man. Ron Simmons, please don't hurt me. Please don't hurt me. I'm actually still scared of him, even at that age. Even if he just comes up to me and just says, damn, I'm just going to be like, oh, boy, I'm dead.
He's so nice, though. He's great. He really speaks like that, though, so it's a little intimidating when you first meet him.
So it's like Ron Simmons is like meeting up with Kurt Angle. At first, it's just like, oh boy, I think I just peed my pants a little bit, and then when you get to know him, it's like, oh, okay, very nice. The next thing you know, bam, spine buster, bam, angle slam, ankle lock. And it's like, why did I ever let my guard down?
Oh, it's funny because like he's such a staple, and like when I was watching, he was always around, you know, like early 2000s. So it's funny to get to know him because I was such a fan. But yeah, he's wonderful.
Well, there's only one Mr. Wonderful, and I got a chance to meet him last year, and that was awesome. But anyway, side note, we're moving on to what I believe should be the main event, but I do believe that Brock Lesnar and Goldberg is probably going to main event. I hope not. The main event, in my opinion, should be this one, being the WWE Championship, Bray Wyatt defending the title against Randy Orton, the 2017 Royal Rumble winner. Build up for this has been kind of interesting, to say the least. And I would have loved to have seen, Luke Harper and AJ Styles get put into the match. But you know what? I'm okay with this matchup as long as the ring chemistry is still good. So we'll see how it goes. As far as who I'm predicting, I am predicting that the Eater of Worlds is going to finally get that W at WrestleMania. Bray Wyatt retains and takes the Viper down. That's my vote. That's my confidence. I'm willing to put so much on.
Bray Wyatt. He is awesome. I love Bray Wyatt. I want to see him win, but I will go with Randy because I don't know. I feel like he. I just feel like he would. I'm in competition mode here, so I think Randy will win. But I'd rather see Bray Wyatt win. I'd much rather see Bray Wyatt win. But I'll say Randy officially because I can see that happening more.
All right, so there you have it, folks. Those are our predictions for WrestleMania as well as NXT TakeOver Orlando. It is going to be a memorable weekend, to say the least. Whether you think it's going to be good, whether you think it's going to be bad, it's going to be the ultimate thrill ride. Well, we still have about a few minutes, so, I guess we could talk about, current wrestling stuff, or do you have some stuff that you want to maybe just plug for the show, so that way, some people know?
I do, if you wouldn't mind. I'm really excited because, everyone's like, first of all, I never made, an announcement that I moved to the UK, and everyone's like, well, why are you always over there? Now I think people are starting to realize it because I've kind of answered people's questions, like, I live there now. Excuse me, but, getting into the UK scene has been a lot of fun, but I'm here meaning the US, I'm in Orlando currently. I'm here for a month, and I was here to do some signings in New York, but I mainly came back because WrestleMania is the biggest week in all of our careers, even if you're remotely related to wrestling. If your neighbor's dog walker's hamster babysitter is friggin', into wrestling, you have to be here. Everyone in wrestling is here for WrestleMania. We follow it along. We do our own conventions outside of it. So the biggest party that I'm doing here is called WrestleCon. WrestleCon is going to be from the Hyatt Regency in Orlando Friday and Saturday, and I'll be there on behalf of Fight TV. We're doing Fight TV live from WrestleCon. It'll be a show from 1 to 3 on Friday and Saturday. It's free to watch on Fight. It's FITE, fight.tv, or you can get the free Fight app on iTunes or Google Play. But I'll be hosting with Damian Nelson from Pro Wrestling Report, and we have some really, really exciting guests lined up. We've already announced Al Snow and Billy Gunn. There's a couple more that are going to be announced on the Fight Twitter page leading up to Friday. So that's why I'm here. I'm excited about it. I'm also hosting Kevin Nash's Shenanigans Party, which is always hilarious. So if you're in the Orlando area, come out and party. It's going to be the party of the year.
Damn. It sucks that I'm going to miss it, but there's always...
We'll have a shot for you, Nate. Don't worry.
Oh, sweet.
You'll be there in spirit.
Awesome. Well, I guess I got to do a little bit of my plugging for this week. Of course, you guys, it is WrestleMania week here for the Elite Ringside Network. Of course, we have Changed the F Up with myself and Victory Bell later on today, in which we will be talking about the highest grossing movies of all time, whether that be domestic, international, you name it, we're going to be talking about it. Tomorrow will be the Smart Money Podcast. Of course, it will be with AJ Jensen and Chris Lockman, talking about WrestleMania predictions, as well as having a special guest from the Wisconsin Pro Wrestling Show, WPW. Friday will be the Facebook Live exclusive contract signing between myself and Spencer Hart, in which we will be making our predictions for WrestleMania and NXT TakeOver Orlando. And you think that the stipulation between us is tough. Again, you guys, if you don't know, the stipulations are for this, that the winner of the prediction battles gets to go to a number one contendership match for the Elite Ringside Network Championship. The loser will unfortunately be going to a new place called Chop City. They are going to get mercilessly chopped by some of the wrestlers that we know here. And for those of you that have not seen the video, go check it out on our Elite Ringside Network page. I did that last year, and it was pretty brutal. It was about 8 chops, and I was hurting for about a week, maybe. It was bad. But, of course, Saturday is, of course, NXT TakeOver Orlando, with the main event, of course, being Nakamura versus Bobby Roode. And the main event, of course, on Sunday is WrestleMania. Big time. It is going to be the ultimate thrill ride, to say the least. And, of course, you can always find us on Twitter. You can always look me up on Twitter at NateFandGreat, as well as SoCal Val. Where can they find you?
Mostly Twitter, at SoCal Valerie. That's where all of my updates are.
All right. Awesome. And you guys, to show no hard feelings and to kind of, I guess, show a little bit of good spirit to my great competitor who I have just enjoyed having on the show. Honestly, Valerie, you have been one of the cornerstones of any time that I do podcasting, whether it be interviews or just talking about wrestling. It has always been fun having you on the show. In all honesty, anytime that I basically, talk highly of her, it's for a good reason. She has been easy to work with, fun to talk to, just flat out an amazing person. And honestly, I didn't think in a million years that it would be up to this point, that we're almost hitting 2 years since we had our first interview together, and it is just crazy. Because really,
I think time flies when you're having fun, Nate. And thank you so much, because this is always such a delight for me to come on and talk about wrestling and have a laugh. So I so appreciate it. And thank you so much for the kind words.
No, not a problem at all. And of course, you guys, like I said, as a favor to good nature, we end the show with this, and I do apologize if I make anybody's ears bleed, but happy birthday to you. Oh. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, SoCal Val. Happy birthday to you, even though it's one day late.
Oh, gosh. I'm getting old, I tell you.
Oh, you can't be getting... Oh, you're not getting that old. You're only like 26, 27?
Yeah, I figured it was like 26, the sequel. That's what we were saying last night. We had a little celebration. Yeah, I was going to keep saying 26, the sequel. Actually, no. You know what? I'm the youngest in my family. I've always been like everyone's little sister in wrestling because I was always so young. I am thrilled to say I'm 31 years old. I'm thrilled about it. I mean, the older I get, the more it's like you have to kind of apologize less and have more of an opinion. It's really exciting to have, I'll be celebrating my 15th year in the business on the 30th of March. Or I should say, 15 years from when I did my first show. So that's what's exciting to me, is that I've done so much in such a... And I started so young, but it let me accomplish a lot before I was even 30. So I'm thrilled about turning 31. But I appreciate the song and the sentiment very much. That's so sweet.
Of course, anytime. Now, I think that we're going to have to definitely see if this will happen. And I'm hoping this happens in the future. I think that one of these days we're definitely still going to need to do a live edition of the show. But instead of having you over Skype, one where we are talking face-to-face. Let me ask you this as just the final question to end the show. Will this happen in the future?
That would be cool. The only problem is, I live in the UK now, so the next time I'll be in the US, which is a little exclusive here. I may be doing some shows in July, so maybe we can work something out. That would be awesome. In
July, wow. Is it going to be like in the South? Oh wow, it's going to be a fun time. But guys, we're going to keep you more informed on that because again. Right now, I think that one of the dreams right now for me is to meet this lovely young woman because she, again, is a pleasure to work with, pleasure to talk to, and one of the best people that you could definitely have on your show. So if you haven't gotten a chance, check her out on her Twitter and find out more ways that you can find out more about her, other than the fact that she turned 31 a couple days ago. It's awesome. So thank you guys so much for tuning in for this edition. Of course, I will be back in a couple of hours for Change the F Up, which will be at around probably, we'll be recording it and then I'll post it up later on. But again, thank you, Valerie, so much for joining us here. And of course, Valifornia for life. And I'm looking forward to seeing what kind of Vine you'll be doing for me after WrestleMania is all said and done.
Definitely. Well, thank you, Nate, so much, and happy WrestleMania.
Happy WrestleMania weekend. And guys, thank you so much. Be sure to tune in to WrestleMania, the ultimate thrill ride. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Primal strength. Ain't nobody man enough to feel the pain. And you can be next. You better give respect. Cause ain't